Every day, millions of scientists around the globe get down to business researching things to improve our understanding of the world we live in. Some discoveries lead to new treatments for deadly diseases or new explanations for strange phenomena. Others teach us useless facts that are fun to know but serve no real purpose. Here are 10 strange facts that scientific studies have blessed us with during the past few years. Welcome to Top 10 Event YouTube channel. Subscribe, like and bell the notification button to get amazing videos every day. Top 10 Strange Scientific Studies. Number 10. Cockroaches Karate kick their way out of becoming zombies. The myth about cockroaches being able to survive a nuclear event has been all but disproven at this point. However, a researcher at Vanderbilt University has found that our creepy crawly friends do have a unique skill that saves them from becoming zombified. The American cockroach is a deadly enemy in the emerald jewel wasp. These parasitic wasps can paralyze cockroaches with one quick sting and rapidly follow up with a second sting to the brain. Researcher Ken Catania studied the interactions between these wasps and their prey using a 1000 fps video camera to see how the attacks normally play out. This was mostly seen in older cockroaches. When the wasp approached to deliver the first paralyzing sting, the cockroaches stood tall and kicked back with one spiky leg. This powerful kick to the face was not enough to kill any of the wasps studied. Number 9. Sperm cells roll instead of wiggle. Using a single-lens microscope that he designed, Antony van Leeuwenhoek did what any self-respecting scientist would do in the 1670s. He used it to look at his own semen. Leeuwenhoek observed that the sperm cells moved like eels swimming in water, and we have believed this for at least 340 years. Using a modern 3D microscope, however, researchers from the University of Bristol and Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico have discovered that this is not true. Scientists have believed that sperm cells move their tails back and forth, but they actually only move their tails to one side. Number 8. Humans got their teeth from fishy ancestors. The bones of these fish are deeply embedded in ancient rock, so they would probably be damaged if studied with common techniques. To get around this, the team of researchers used the brightest X-ray source in the world. They were able to see the internal structures of the fish bones without causing harm to the fossil itself. As in humans, the teeth of these ancient fish were set in the bones of the jaw. This differs from what we see in sharks, whose teeth are attached to skin instead. The jaw bones of acanthothoraceids have enough similarities to modern human jaws that they are believed to be directly ancestral to ours. Number 7. Microbes can lie dormant for 100 million years. East of Australia in the South Pacific Gyre, microbes in sediment on the ocean floor had lain dormant for over 100 million years with almost no food or oxygen. When scientists from the Japan Agency for Marine Earth Science and Technology found these microorganisms in 2010, they decided to feed them and see what would happen. Despite the millions of years with sparse nutrients, these microbes were easily revived with a little TLC. In fact, they managed to increase their numbers more than 4 orders of magnitude in a couple of months. According to their study published in 2020, the researchers are still not sure how the microbes survived this long and what they were doing in their spare time. Number 6. Sheep can recognize faces. It has long been believed that sheep follow humans blindly with little regard given to the person leading them. Researchers from the University of Cambridge recently proved that this is not true. Sheep can seemingly tell the difference between humans just as animals that we consider more intelligent, like apes, can. When presented with pictures of different humans, sheep can consistently pick out the face of the person they have been trained to associate with a food reward. They can even choose that face if the picture has been taken at a different angle. They can also pick out their handler's face. For the record, the faces used in this experiment included those of Barack Obama, Emma Watson, Fiona Bruce, and Jake Gyllenhaal. Number 5. Tongues can smell. Although you can easily tell that smell and taste are interconnected by blocking your nose when you eat, the abilities of the tongue may reach far beyond that. Scientists from the Manual Chemical Senses Center have found that human taste cells grown in a lab have odoreceptors like those found in nasal cells. Upon exposing these taste cells to odors, they reacted like nasal cells would when detecting smells. This presents a new way of interpreting how we smell and taste, as there may be intermingling between the two senses before any signals even reach the brain. Number 4. Having more sons or daughters is a heritable trait. If you've ever taken a class on genetics, you've probably been told that there is a 50% chance of a couple having a male or a female baby. As females have 2 X chromosomes, the sex of the baby is always determined by the man. The man can give the baby an X chromosome, making the child female, or a Y chromosome, making the child male. Although this part is true, the whole 50% chance notion may not be. Researchers at Newcastle University studied almost 1,000 family trees from the 1600s onward and found that males with many brothers are more likely to have sons. Similarly, males with many sisters are more likely to have daughters. Number 3. Knives made of poop cannot slice. A well-known story tells of a stranded Inuit man who used his frozen feces to make a knife sharp enough to kill and butcher a dog and cut himself out in the ice and snow. While most people would write off this story as a folktale, the scientists at Kent State University wanted to see whether there was any truth to it. These implements were buried under dry ice to ensure they were as cold as possible. Then they were used to try to cut samples of animal hides and tendons. As expected, the knives simply began to melt, leaving streaks of fecal matter on the undamaged hides. Number 2. Dry spaghetti breaks into multiple pieces when bent. If you've ever tried to snap a dry spaghetto, one stick of spaghetti, in half, you may have been surprised to see it break into at least 3 pieces. By grasping the stick at each end when snapping, a tiny middle piece is generated. Some French researchers really wanted to know why. These scientists won the Ig Nobel Prize for their efforts. Here's what they found: when a dry spaghetto is bent, it first breaks at the place where it is most curved near the center. The force generated by this snap sends waves down the rest of the spaghetto and breaks it into additional fragments. Number 1. Ethics books are the most likely books to be stolen. A researcher at the University of California set out to determine whether ethicists are better people. Specifically, he wanted to see whether ethicists were more likely to steal books. By analyzing the status of ethics books and other books at different libraries, philosopher Eric Schwitzgebel ironically found that ethics books are more likely to go missing as compared to books on other subjects. The older, more famous ethics books were twice as likely to be stolen as other books.